We began the week in Charlottesville, Virginia, with over 70 of the top amateur golfers blended with some of the top pros in the Mid-Atlantic region here at the beautiful Farmington Country Club in Charlottesville, Virginia. This GA. And with that, we welcome you to the beautiful Par 70. Fred Finley design. Kendall Lewis alongside the former William and Mary golfer Christine Kleitz here with you on CGN today at the third annual Women's Open of Virginia. As we take a look at the leaderboard today, you see the Par 70 playing just over 6,000 yards today. 35 on the front, 35 on the back. Not a single round yesterday under par. Christine, you had the opportunity. You know this golf course. Talk about the challenges that this course is going to present today in some of those pin locations.
Yep, this is a demanding golf course. Players are going to face a number of uneven lies coming into the greens, a lot of elevated shots on their approaches into some hole locations that are definitely tucked in certain areas of the greens, and a lot of these greens have pretty severe pitches from back to front, so putting will also be a challenge today.
A lot of things happening on the leaderboard right now as we take a look at the leaderboard. Addie Doro came in at +2 today, is even par through her first 4 holes of play so far, heading to the 5th tee box now, along with Kennedy Swedick of Albany, New York, who plays her collegiate golf at nearby UVA, even par today after posting rounds of 68, 74. And then Catherine Ha rounding out that final threesome today with 1 bogey already, +1 today. She fired rounds of 68 and 74 the first 2 days. The low round of yesterday, and a big storyline right now sitting in 4th place, is Lauren Clark, who shot even par 70 yesterday. As we take a look at that leaderboard right now, you can see 2 at the top at +2. It is an absolute logjam right now with Catherine Ha just 1 shot off the lead. Lauren Clark, Christine, had a nice start today but went bogey her last couple of holes. And we look at this leaderboard, and of course anyone's tournament when we go to this final round coverage here of the Women's Open of Virginia, the 3rd year here at the beautiful Farmington Country Club. And with that, let's talk a little bit more about the beautiful Farmington Country Club.
Growing up here in Virginia, it's really kind of incredible to see just how much women's golf has grown, not only in the state of Virginia, but even here at Farmington. We really stress and take in the importance of growing the game, not just for amateurs, but for women in particular.
I've played golf for 70 years, and 50 of those years have been affiliated with Farmington. So I feel as if I'm home. I love this building. I love this room. I've gotten married in this room. I love the golf course. Farmington, I feel as if, is at the core of not just the beginnings of, but the continuation of women's golf in Virginia.
In a club's history, there's always tradition and there's always things, but we're also sort of look at our centennial is coming up. And over the last 13, 14 years, we've really been focused on what does Farmington look like when it turns 100.
I think that really is the overall theme of the centennial, that we're celebrating this rich history that we have, but also celebrating the future that we're building.
What you find is that women's golf was pretty special. I think it all the way dates back to the 40s post-war, where it really started getting a stronghold. And I would say it was probably before it was in vogue, right? And I think that women's golf ultimately started here in Virginia, and it started here in Farmington.
It's the stewardship of this generation was given this gift from those before. It's now our turn, our time to move this forward into the future for the next generation to then share this with future generations so we can be here another 100 years.
It's really exciting to be a part of that, be able to witness it, and be able to see kind of just where women's golf is moving towards. We've got the women's 4-ball here in 2027, and that is just going to be so amazing for Farmington and for just the area in general.
I think Farmington, the golf course itself, is a perfect venue for USGA events. You can manage all the peripheral stuff that goes with it, the parking and all the things that are a challenge. Farmington will do a good job, and I think Farmington is a terrific location to celebrate a special event. I don't think there's a better place to celebrate a special event. From this Jeffersonian room to the golf course to the clubhouse, this is the place you want to be. And in 2027, I'll be up here following those girls.
I think we're actually just maintaining the stewardship of what Farmington is. We've hosted everything from Virginia State amateurs, from women's events, from the Mid-Atlantic PGA, had their section championship here. We've been a part of it. We've been a part of the Virginia story. And I think we're just continuing the stewardship. And ultimately, whether it's the Women's Open of Virginia or whether it's the USGA Women's Floorball, we're taking the same way that our membership looked at it back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and taking it into today.
We'd like to thank all the official partners of the 3 Open Championships in Virginia, as they are critical to the success of these championships and allow us to support local communities through our tournament beneficiaries. First, the Kiowa Island Resort, the Jefferson Hotel Sea Pines Resort, Real Property Management, Estes, M&E Contractors, the Old Dominion Group, and last but certainly not least, My Golfing Store. And now we'll take it to live action here on CGN. The 3rd annual Women's Open of Virginia, our final group of the afternoon. It's Addie Doro, Catherine Ha, and Kennedy Swedick, who we mentioned all 3 entered today at +2. Doro and Swedick tied for first at the top of the leaderboard right now. Catherine Ha has dropped a shot with an early bogey, is now +3. And we will follow this group. Of course, we showed you that leaderboard a few moments ago, that with Lauren Clark trying to make a charge in 4th right now, is just a couple of shots off the lead. Had the low round of yesterday, an even par 70. Christine told you how tough this golf course is. Par 70 and only 2 par 5s. And Christine, you look at the course statistics, in both of those par 5s through the first 2 days playing over par.
Right. The first par 5 on number 7 playing 5.28, so over par. And the second one on 16, very difficult, playing 5.63. So not exactly scoring opportunities for the players out there today.
And we go to the 6th tee with this final group. You get a look at the par 3 playing 135 today. Bit of an interesting par 3. You see those 2 bunkers guarding it on the right side. And really nowhere to miss, Christine, but that short left position, as you can see on your screen.
And this green, too, you have to be careful. This is another one that severely pitches from back to front. And, we've seen folks putting it off the green during the week. So good approach shot here. Set yourself up for hopefully a 1-putt, maybe an easy 2-putt.
We mentioned Addie Doro with rounds of 71-71 through the first 2 days. Kennedy Swedick just made birdie on the 5th to take a 1-shot lead and atop the leaderboard. And Kennedy Swedick, who plays at nearby UVA, played in 8 events as a freshman this year for the Cavaliers. Had a really good freshman season. Of course, fired a 268 in round 1 on Monday, 74 yesterday. And we mentioned pin locations today, and this makes this golf course extremely difficult. Catherine Ha will be next on the tee from Roanoke, Virginia. Signed to play at Vanderbilt for the Commodores. Christine, we talked about it off air a little bit. What's so interesting about this final group is you have an 18-year-old and two 17-year-olds, all three amateurs in this final group.
And both Addie and Catherine have both won RVSGA Junior Girls Championship in the past, which is pretty special this week, given that Robbie Younger started that event, and that's what our trophy that we're playing for today is named after her.
Now, we will talk a lot about Robbie as this broadcast goes on. Addie Doro next on the tee from Charlottesville, Virginia. Signed to play for the Richmond Spiders next year. Top 30 player in the Rolex AJGA rankings. And worth noting that temperatures almost 100 degrees in Charlottesville, Virginia today. The heat index of about 110. It is brutal for these players. It adds into the playing conditions of this beautiful golf course, Christine, but you throw in this heat index. Fortunately for the players, they are in golf carts, which may help a little bit, but scorching heat nonetheless.
And I mean, even in golf carts, it's been a marathon for them. This is, for most of them, their fourth day playing in a row in this heat.
I see Addie Doro has found the bunker with Catherine Ha and Kennedy Swedick. Hitting great shots. This is a tricky bunker shot right here with this pin, Christine.
Yeah, coming out of that bunker, this whole location is only 6 paces from the left side of the green, so she's not going to have a whole lot of room to work with here.
I'll try to land this one on the top of that collar and let it just funnel down. As you mentioned, just 6 paces, that pin location. Wow, that one just came out a little hot. And we mentioned it, Christine, when we went out and marked the course yesterday, that you find the bunkers with the way these pins are set up today. You could stare at double bogey in a hurry, and this one has trickled into that right sided bunker, just funneled right down into the other side.
Yeah, so she just needs to shift her mindset now, try to limit the damage, get it on the green, and go from there.
And right now, if you're Addie Doro, as Christine mentioned, trying to limit the damage here. Excuse me, Catherine High, you're trying to limit the damage here. Her tee shot finding that left bunker and then it coming out hot. This segment is being brought to you by Kiowa Island Golf Resort. Kiowa Island Golf Resort is your destination for luxury golf and beach vacations near Charleston, South Carolina. Indulge in 5-star accommodations in some of the most respected golf courses in the nation. A travel experience you'll wish would never end. Haas got this for her bogey, slippery putt here. Folks, would like to apologize. We're experiencing some technical difficulties on the College Golf Network right now, but please continue to follow along this final group in final round coverage of the 3rd Annual Women's Open of Virginia while we sort this out. And we hope to get back with you commentary-wise here shortly. We now join you on 8 green with this final group. Kennedy Swedick, Addie Doro, and Catherine Ha. After experiencing some of those technical difficulties, we appreciate you bearing with us on the College Golf Network. Glad you're tuned in with us from wherever you may be today. Catherine Ha has this putt left to right from about 12 feet here on the 8th green. Worth noting, Christine, we talked about this a little bit off air, but these greens rolling, what, 11 on the stimp meter coming in today. Of course, blazing temperatures. We had an extreme heat advisory in Charlottesville, Virginia yesterday, and of course carrying into today, the heat index well over 100 degrees. Right now, Kennedy Swedick with a one-shot lead at 1 under par, and Addie Doro, who is 1 shot back, needs this one from close range. Oof.
She has almost as far as she had on her first putt there, coming back up the hill now.
We mentioned it earlier in the broadcast that not a single round yesterday under par. Lauren Clark had the low round of 70, even par, here at Farmington Country Club in round 2 yesterday. And these pin locations today, brutal. A good putt coming back on the recovery from Addie Dora. Kennedy Swedick to try and clean things up here on the 8th green. A solid stroke as we go to the 9th tee in the final grouping with Kennedy Swedick standing at 1 under par. And we'll take a look at this 9th hole. Par 4 playing 361. Getting that first right bunker, 242 yards, comes into play off the tee for most of these players. And you've got an uphill second shot into that elevated green. This is a tricky hole to finish out the front 9, Christine, but I think all about the tee shot, especially with that right bunker coming into play.
Yeah, players are going to definitely need to avoid that bunker on the right there. But even if you're a drawer of the golf ball, you can still pretty much aim straight down the middle since it is a wide fairway. And then, like Kendall said, you have that uphill approach shot. Difficult hole location here too.
And you look at Kennedy Swedick in her first 2 rounds, who has the lead. She bogeyed this hole yesterday, closing out the front 9 with a 39, but she bounced back with a 35 on the backside, entering today at +2 in a 3-way tie for first place. And you go back to her first round, she parred this 9th hole. Addie Doro has played the 9th hole well, 1 under par through 2 rounds. An excellent tee shot right down the middle of the fairway here for Kennedy Swedick on the tee. We mentioned 242 to that right bunker. A solid shot up the left side of the fairway that time for Kennedy Swedick. And now Addie Doro, who we mentioned 1 under par on this 9th hole through the first 2 rounds of this tournament this week. Well, that one looks to be maybe short of that right bunker up the right side. We talked about these 3. Addie Doro, who is signed to play for the Richmond Spiders next year, finished first in the VSGA Junior Girls Championship back in 2021. And how about a top 10 finish in this event last year? 7th place for Addie Doro here in this Women's Open of Virginia.
Addie's also a great student as well. She won the VSGA Richard Smith Scholarship Award this past spring. And so that's in honor of our longtime director of competitions who had a big role in junior golf with the VSGA. It's a great honor for Addie to win that award.
Incredible young talent on display in this final group. We mentioned Kennedy Swedick, who just finished up her freshman campaign at UVA. Of course, Addie Doro and Catherine Ha each signed to play college golf next year. Ha heading to Vanderbilt, who's a top 30 player now in the AJGA rankings, was the 2023 and 2024 VSGA Girls Golfer of the Year, and won the 2024 Virginia Junior Golf Championship. First to play, Addie Doro from the fairway for her 2nd shot uphill. A good tee shot, left side of the fairway coming up here for Catherine Ha, her 2nd shot. A good approach shot for Catherine Ha, just right of the pin. Looks to be about 10 feet short. Here's Kennedy Swedick. 1 under par, 2-shot lead. That one looked to be drifting left of that pin, Christine, which could make for an interesting putt left to right coming back where that pin's located today. Well, Christine, you mentioned it earlier in the broadcast that most of these approach shots here at Farmington Country Club are into those elevated greens. A lot of blind second shots on this course.
Yeah, it's going to make it just really important for the players to have picked a good target when they can't necessarily see where they're going to be landing on the greens, and all that work that they've been doing in their practice rounds and up till today, picking out their spots on the course.
Boy, Swiatek leads that one short. A little real estate left for Kennedy Swiatek, who is atop the leaderboard at 1 under par. Mentioned Addie Doro, who is 2 shots back, +1, just bogeyed the 8th hole and chipping just off the green. A good touch there. And a tap-in par coming for Addie Doro to close out the front 9. And Hodge just misses left from about 12 feet. Couple of great opportunities for Catherine Ha.
It'd be great for Catherine to get one of these to drop soon to just really steady the ship and get things going back the right direction.
Ha had that double bogey early on the par 3 6th, where she hit it into the left bunker and then caught it thin into the opposite bunker right of that green. And Swiatek just burns the edges again. And we'll close out the front 9 with the lead, top the leaderboard. And Addie Doro to clean this up for par. So 1 over 36 for Addie Doro on the front 9, who is just 2 shots back of Kennedy Swiatek. And folks, we want to remind you this segment is being brought to you by Kiawah Island Golf Resort. Kiawah Island Golf Resort is your destination for luxury golf and beach vacations near Charleston, South Carolina. Indulge in 5-star accommodations in some of the most respected golf courses in the nation. A travel experience you'll wish would never end. We head to the 10th tee in this final threesome here today with Kennedy Swiatek, your leader. Lauren Clark, who is in the group just ahead in the fairway on 10, is just 3 shots back at +2, who fired an even par 70 yesterday, which was actually the low round, as we've mentioned. And we'll take a look at this 10th hole, which is one of the more interesting greens. The green actually just opened back in May, one of the newer greens out here. Of course, this course designed back in 1929. And Christine, as you've mentioned earlier as well, that a lot of changes to this club over the course of the last 5 years, and 10 being one of the newest.
Right. So they've been gradually updating the course, making it a bit more player friendly, closing 3 to 4 holes at a time over the past few years. And so now it's fully reopened for the membership and for our event this week.
We look at hole 10 today, playing 177. One of the longer par threes. Out on this course.
With that front right hole location, players are going to have to be careful to make sure they don't short side themselves into the steep bunker on the right that you'll see.
And you've got that back left bunker as well. Of course, a couple of bunkers that a bunker that comes in front right, and where that pin is, as you just alluded to. Difficult shot today. Look back the first two rounds at Kennedy Swedick has parred this hole in the first two rounds. Addie Doro made birdie on this 10th hole yesterday, and Catherine Ha has parred this hole. So this final grouping has played this 10th hole extremely well through the first two rounds. Ha on the tee first here at 10. Oh, just short and funnels back into that green side bunker. It's going to be a tough up and down from there. Swedick didn't really like the contact, and short as well. Nobody, unfortunately, going to find the green here on the 10th after we mentioned they played this hole so well through the first two rounds. Couple short and right, and Addie Doro short and left. Folks, this segment of Championship Golf Network is being brought to you by Golf Pride, the #1 grip in worldwide golf. Performance is in your hands with Golf Pride. So be sure to find your fit by checking out the Grip Finder at golfpride.com. Things could get interesting here at the par 3 10th. With Kennedy Swedick dropping a shot on the 9th, stands at even par, a one-shot lead. And Addie Doro and Lauren Clark nipping Kennedy Swedick +2 correction for the tournament. Even par today. We mentioned was 1 under par on that front 9 until bogey in the 9th. We saw Catherine Ha, who hit first on this 10th, is in the bunker. Sweetie just outside of the bunker, but away. He's caught it a bit thin, which will trickle onto the fringe on the other side.
That's going to leave her with a downhill putt coming back.
Doro about 30 yards short and left with her chip shot. Really nice chip. That's back-to-back holes. We've seen Doro put some nice touch. You go back to the 9th from behind the green. Able to leave it up there within 3 feet for par. And now Catherine Ha in the greenside bunker. Tough shot upcoming here. we come back to you on the Championship Golf Network with final round coverage of the final group. Addie Doro and Kennedy Swedick currently at +3 for the tournament, tied for the lead. And they have created a little bit of separation. Lauren Clark in third at +6. And this is Addie Doro, who is chipping greenside here.
Addie keeps hitting quality chip shots, really keeping her in this.
Well, she really has. You look at 3 of the last 4 holes, Addie Doro now has been off the green and left it within 4 feet. And she'll have that to save her par. This segment being brought to you by Golf Pride. That's the #1 grip in worldwide golf. Performance is in your hands with Golf Pride. So find your fit by checking out the grip finder at golfpride.com. Kennedy Swedick, who is +1 today, tied for the lead. Christine, we've seen her burn the edges. Has made some really good putts today. Just haven't quite dropped for Swedick yet.
She could use one here.
Another great roll. It just leaves it on the low side and burns the edges.
This hole's been playing the most difficult of the week, almost over a whole stroke over par for the field.
And Catherine Ha will try and finish this one out here. So again, we're at the 11th hole. So Addie Doro to try and save par from about 4 feet here. Well, this 11th hole has been tough. One of the longer par 4s, playing well over par this week. Just 2 birdies on this 11th hole coming in. To this final round here at the 3rd Annual Women's Open of Virginia. And so we finishes that one out as we head to the 12th tee box of this final pairing. And we'll preview this par 4 12th, playing 339 today. What stands out to you, Christine, when you played this course Sunday and looking at this 12th hole
Yeah,
this week?
Coming back up the hill on 12 after going down the hill on 11. Slight dog leg left and everything's going to kick left. You have that penalty area down the left-hand side there. Yep. So going to want to stay on the right side of the fairway. Again, this is another blind shot up the hill. Players should be able to see the top of the flagstick, but not the full contour of the green. Hole location in the back left as well.
And you look at the layout of that green. And another tricky green to work with here at Farmington Country Club. Playing just over 6,000 yards. As we mentioned, a par 70 with just 2 par 5s that have both played over par for the field this week. Now, Kennedy Swedick and Addie Doro, who are both tied at the top of the leaderboard. Swedick will have the honors here at 12. That one heading up the right side. Tough to tell if it may have found that second bunker, but heading right at it. Like Catherine Ha, who is 7 over today, after firing a 68 in round 1 on Monday. A good shot there from Catherine Ha off the right side of the fairway. A door open for Addie Doro here, Christine, with that tee shot from Kennedy that went a little bit right. This one heading in that same direction, up the right side, but going to find fairway.
Yep. So she's looking to bounce back after that bogey on the last hole.
We jump ahead to the short par 4 13th, where Lauren Clark, who is currently tied for 3rd from Orlando, Florida, trying to make a charge at +6 for the tournament, +3 today.
Front right of the green, and it's going to take a good shot even at a short drivable hole to get up on the green today. Again, heading back up the hill to an elevated green.
And we're going to keep it right here on the green at 13 with that final grouping. Who will be coming up on this hole in just a moment. We'll get back to their second shots on 12 here momentarily. We mentioned Lauren Clark at +6. You've got Morgan Massoud at +6. Skylar Sloat at +7. And then a couple at +9. Michelle Cox, Catherine Ha, who's just had it A little bit rough today. 7 over par. Adidoro first to play from the fairway on 12 and middle of the green. Ha from the fairway. Rough area for Catherine Ha. And Kennedy Swedick, who finds the rough off the tee, just in between those two bunkers on her second shot. Wow. Just lands on the top tier and funnels down. Excellent shot for our tournament leader, Kennedy Swedick there, who will have a great look at birdie on this 12th hole.
Being in the back portion of that green actually slopes middle to back, so she'll have an uphill putt there for birdie.
This segment is being brought to you by Golf Pride. That's the #1 grip in worldwide golf. Performance is in your hands with Golf Pride. So find your fit by checking out the grip finder at golfpride.com. We'll be right back in just a moment.
When your hands are consistent, your game can go anywhere. Align Max, our newest raised ridge technology, designed to keep you and your game locked in on every shot. Only from Golf Pride. Respect the grip.
We come back to you live on the Championship Golf Network. We appreciate you tuning in with us from wherever you may be. Final round coverage of the third Women's Open of Virginia here at Farmington Country Club, where Catherine Ha is just off the green in the rough.
The good news here, she does have plenty of green to work with.
Few options from this rough here, as Christine just mentioned, with some green to work with. Good touch. She tries to let that one funnel down. She'll have a little bit of work left to try and save par here, Christine, but we have certainly seen worse on this hole this week. Adidoro above the hole. Long putt upcoming.
It was difficult to judge the speed there, trying to get it to the top of the ridge and then just let it feed down. You can see how much, a bit of a misread as well.
Kennedy Swedick, who hit a great second shot in there on the top of the ridge, just kind of released to the back, has got a good look at birdie here to try to extend her lead to 2 shots. We come down the stretch of this final round in the final pairing today for birdie. Another solid roll for Swedick. It just burns the edges. We've seen it low side, high side, but excellent stroke.
And that just shows how difficult these greens are for the players this week. Even having like a wedge in on this hole, it's still no guarantees at birdies.
We mentioned the interesting storyline, the 3 amateurs, 2 17 years old, 1 18 years old. Catherine Ha trying to save par. And you can barely touch that one. Trying to come downhill here. So Ha, a little bit of work left. We'll spot that one to try and get out of this 12th hole with a bogey.
Hopefully today's round will just be a good learning experience for Catherine, and there'll be some takeaways for her as she heads into college at Vanderbilt this coming fall.
Yeah, what a great experience for Catherine Ha, who we mentioned 2023 and 2024 VSGA Girls Golfer of the Year. Here's Addie Doro. Tricky par putt here at the 12th. Good roll. Slides it in the side door. And Addie Doro still in the hunt here through 12 holes. And how to finish it out for bogey. Swedick for par and to maintain a 1-shot lead. And solid roll. So excellent 2-putt from Addie Doro, and Swedick gets out of there with a par as well to maintain a 1-shot lead as we head to the short par 4 13th that is playing right at 216 today. And one of our featured holes today as well. And this is kind of that turning point, Christine, in the round where you're at a drivable par 4.
Yeah, if someone can make a birdie here and either, if it's Kennedy pull further ahead or Addie to catch back up, that would give them a lot of momentum for the rest of the round. I'm excited to see what the players do here off the tee.
We mentioned playing 216 is the 13th today. The MAPGA is an association of over 1,250 PGA club professionals in Maryland and Virginia who work every day to grow the game of golf through instruction, event planning, and bringing new people into the game. They are proud to be stewards of the game and experts in the business and game of golf. The VSGA, founded in 1904, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing a full range of services to golfers and golf clubs in Virginia, including handicapping services, access to competitions, junior golf programs, and education on the rules of golf and rules of handicapping. We mentioned this third annual Women's Open of Virginia, jointly administered by the MAPGA and VSGA. What a great event. Just the third year at beautiful Farmington Country Club here today in Charlottesville, Virginia. I tell you what, extreme temperatures with a heat index of over 100 degrees all week long here in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Since its inception in 1925, the Middle Atlantic PGA has emerged as one of the largest and most influential of the PGA of America's 41 sections.
Congratulations to the Middle Atlantic PGA on 100 years of making a profound impact on the game. It's where I grew up and learned to love the sport, and I'm proud to call the section my home. The Middle Atlantic PGA professionals are the section's heart and soul, who have worked tirelessly since its founding to make it a game everyone can love. A big salute to all of you on this milestone, and here's looking to another 100 years of greatness.
community and become a member of the Virginia State Golf Association. Our membership is more than just a handicap index. With the VSGA, you'll gain access to a wide range of benefits to enhance your golfing journey, like Virginia Golfer Magazine, access to championships, casual outings at some of Virginia's best courses, member trips, and more. We have membership options for golfers of all ages and abilities, plus discounted golf around the state with our VIP card. Visit vsga.org/join to see which option is right for you.
This one running away from Swiatek.
That needs to hold up.
Wow. And Swiatek has left herself an extremely long birdie putt coming back uphill here at this short, drivable par 4 13th.
Just looking at the stats for today on the 13th hole, there have been 11 birdies so far. It's going to be a challenge for our final group to increase that number.
They were kind of chatting about who was going to go first there. Kennedy is going to go first. Addie's got a tricky putt in her own right. Good putt from Swiatek. She'll spot that one to try and get out of here with a par at the 13th. So Addie Doro with a hard left to right breaker here from above the hole. Wow.
And Addie's been steady on these par putts throughout the day, so hopefully she'll be able to draw on that experience.
Now, if you're Catherine, what type of read did you just get from Addie right there, seeing how fast hers went by?
Yeah, I mean, she's aimed a bit to the left. She just needs to commit to this and put a good stroke on it.
Ow. Just missed to the left.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it broke back the way she was thinking it would.
Doro coming back up the hill here at 13. Wow.
That just needed one more rotation. Just lost speed going back up the hill.
Swiatek had hit her, if you're just joining us, hit her tee shot over the back of this short par 4 13th. Confident stroke there. So good save for Kennedy Swiatek. And Kennedy Swiatek will maintain the lead and stay atop the leaderboard. And Ha just rolls it all around the cup and it drops. Tough day for Catherine Ha and a tough hole, but able to swirl that one in. This segment being brought to you by the Sea Pines Golf Resort. We invite you to the Sea Pines Resort, where legendary golf, world-class accommodations, and exceptional amenities come together on the iconic shores of Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. And we will take a break here at the Women's State Open of Virginia from Farmington Country Club in Charlottesville. We'll be right back on the Championship Golf Network after these messages.
Play here. and match shots with the greatest in the game. Play here and discover a golf experience like no other. Three incredible courses, one unforgettable destination. Play the Sea Pines Resort.
We come back to you as a preview of the 14th hole here at Farmington Country Club, the par 4 that plays 394 today. You get a overview of what this hole is in the green layout there. And tell you what, there is no easy holes out here at Farmington Country Club. But after coming off that short par 4 13th, Kennedy Swedick has a 2-shot lead, able to come away with par. Addy Doro, unfortunately, +5, 2 shots back. And Kennedy Swedick will be first on the tee here at 14 in the final grouping. This is a blind tee shot, but you can get a big roll as she did down the crest of that hill.
And this is one of my favorite tee shots on the golf course, just with the Blue Ridge Mountains there framed in the background.
A solid line for Catherine Ha. And it might have just trickled in that first cut of rough. Here's Addy Doro. Well, this one hits the cart path. Look at it go. Still on the path. Wow. So works out for Addy Doro. And Catherine Ha, who we saw her tee shot, it might have got in the first cut of rough. It looked to be maybe a downhill lie coming up for Catherine Ha on her second shot. And folks, Robbie King Unger, who we will be talking about quite a bit a little bit later in the broadcast, we'll give you a preview right now here on the Championship Golf Network.
Drive it straight, and you want to stay out of the traps to the left and the right. Straight, right in front of the green. It's a good place to be on most holes. And some holes have hidden trouble, but Farmington's a straightforward, for the most part, honest. You look down the hole and you know what you have to do in order to play the hole well. And I think that's, it'll be interesting to see how the girls handle that. I always thought the 18th hole was just a great finishing hole. It's do or die, whether you get around the corner. If you get around the corner, you can get to the green. It's also a great place for spectators. They can watch 13, they can watch you tee off on 14 and watch you come in 18. I always thought that was kind of the center of spectator golf at Farmington. It's a great golf course. It's just there's not a flaw here. There's not a bad hole here. They're all great.
Big drive for Addie Doro, who got the cart path. And a decent lie in the rough here on the 14th hole for her second shot. Addie Doro 5 over right now. Morgan Mussett, who is a couple of groups ahead, is making a charge, is only 2 shots back. Even par today. Oh, great shot there for Doro. Blind second shot, as you can see, over that bunker on the second shot for Doro. But after catching cart path off her tee shot, could have a good look at birdie coming up here.
And this hole plays 394 on the scorecard, but really plays much shorter than that with that big downhill slope that the drives will catch, giving players likely a wedge in.
Clean lie for Kennedy Swedick. Can she get one to drop here at the 14th? Catherine Ha will have an uphill right to left breaker. And we saw Swedick throw her wedge shot close. Good look at birdie here for Kennedy Swedick, who's got a 2-shot lead. And Doro about 35 feet away. Trying to lag this one up there. Wow, great roll for Doro. Tap in par for Doro coming back up the hill. What an excellent stroke from above the hole there after having that blind second shot. Sweetic for birdie. Wow. This time just short. Sweetic has had some really nice putts today that just haven't dropped. And yet again here at the 14th, but she still maintains a 2-shot lead.
And having stress-free pars aren't going to hurt today either.
Oh, not at all. Just misses. Hoff cleans it up there. And Doro, who is above the hole about 35 feet away, taps this one in for par. Addie Doro saves par on an excellent 2-putt and stays at +5 for the tournament. Morgan Mussett, who we mentioned, slowly but surely making a charge. Couple of groups ahead, also at +5. And then Lauren Clark at +6 with 4 holes to play in the group ahead as we go to hole number 15 at Farmington Country Club, the 331-yard par 4. Christine, what stands out to you about 15?
Yeah, this is a relatively short hole. More room left than you might think off the tee. So as long as you're in the fairway there, you should have a relatively short iron or wedge in for the second shot.
Well, we've seen a lot of really nice 2-putts. Sweetic has had some great looks at birdie today. And did birdie the 10th hole, did birdie the 5th, had 2 birdies, and could have been a whole lot more than that. But as you mentioned, Christine, 2 putts on these greens where the pins are located today for the 3rd and final round. Nothing wrong with that. She goes 3-wood off the tee here and splits the fairway.
That'll set up nicely for her approach.
And Sweetic, one of the longer hitters in the tournament field. Catherine Ha with driver. Oh, great swing for Ha. And right down the middle. She'll like that one. Beautiful tee shot for Catherine Ha. And Doro with 3-wood hits it right down the middle of the fairway here at the par 4. 3 nice tee shots here from this final grouping as we come down the stretch. We'll take a break in the 3rd annual Women's Open of Virginia here from Farmington Country Club in Charlottesville. We'll be right back. Final round coverage will continue right after this.
And match shots with the greatest in the game. Play here and discover a golf experience like no other. Three incredible courses, one unforgettable destination. Play the Sea Pines Resort.
And we'll go to 18. And watch some finishing groups here at the 3rd and final round of the Women's Open of Virginia at Farmington Country Club. Our Macy Johnson, amateur from Salem, Virginia, just finished up on 18. Now back to the fairway here at 15. And Doro just leaves her approach shot short. Could be a tricky little chip shot there coming up for Addie Doro. Sweetic hit her 3-wood through the fairway. Here's her second shot from the rough on 15. Great shot from Sweetic again, and another incredible look coming up for Kennedy Sweetic, who has a 2-shot lead. She's got that for birdie here at 15. And Catherine Ha, after a pummeled tee shot from the middle of the fairway. Wow, flies it right over the stick. Just a shade long, but a great look coming back for birdie for Catherine Ha. Beautifully done, tee to green for Catherine Ha, the amateur from Roanoke, Virginia, as we take a look back at that leaderboard. Sweetic at +3. Morgan Mussett, 2 back at +5. Addie Doro at +5. And, of course, in the group ahead, you've got Lauren Clark at +6.
And Lauren would love to make a charge today, being that it's her first tournament as a professional as well as her 25th birthday. So that would be a nice birthday present for a good finish here.
Well, happy birthday to Lauren Clark, who certainly would like to make a charge. You know, we talk about this course and the limited amount of birdies that we've seen today, but really all week. This is one of those golf courses coming into this final round today. We knew, Christine, that birdies were going to be tough to come by with the way the greens, first of all, how fast they're rolling today, but these fairways as well make it challenging with the different types of lies that you see.
Yeah, I think today's been all about limiting mistakes. You know, we saw the double bogey early from Catherine, but our leaders have been pretty steady.
And Kennedy Sweetie just 1 over par through 14 today. We talk about making a charge. Even par Mussett today finds herself tied for second, and a great chip shot from Abby Doro here. So Addie, who's missed a few greens today, puts another soft touch chip shot within 4 feet to try and save par.
And Addie plays her golf at Birdwood Golf at the Boar's Head Resort directly across the street. And that's where the VSGA is currently hosting the 112th VSGA Amateur Championship on the men's side.
A lot going on here in Charlottesville, and you talk about that Virginia Men's Amateur. That's one of the longer running amateur golf tournaments in the world today, over 100 years. Good speed from Catherine Ha. Gave it some pace for birdie. She'll take a peek at that one, trying to clean it up for par. And Kennedy Sweetic, a birdie look.
Yeah, can she get one to drop?
Chance to create a little more separation here. Good roll again at it for Kennedy Sweetic, and she'll spot that one to take a look and try and save par here at number 15. Solid stroke for Catherine Ha, who makes par here at 15. Well done, tee to green. Just cans that one. Does Addie Doro.
Another great up and down for Addie.
Sweetic to try and save par. And she does. Flat stick works out again for Kennedy Sweetic. Can she hang on? 3 holes left to play for the tournament leader at +3 here on the Championship Golf Network. and the third Women's Open of Virginia at Farmington Country Club as we move along to the 16th tee for this final pairing. Kendall Lewis, Christine Kleitz here with you on CGN. Get a look at the overview of 16 here, which is just one of two par fives on the entire course. You see how this one kind of cuts back to the left. Well, Christine, you and I were out on the course yesterday, and there is a line that you want to hit it on from this tee box, a house that just kind of peeks out through the trees.
Yeah, you can't get too greedy on this tee shot. I've seen a number of drives where trying to take too much off it, going down the left side, ending up in that rough, and coming up with a really tricky layup shot. So the players are going to need to keep it straight, kind of right at that house.
And you can see that house just kind of peeking out right there at the top of your screen. Everything slopes right to left in this fairway, but that is the perfect line. You'll get a flat lie if you can hit it on that line. Three wood off the tee coming for Sweeting.
I mean, that just shows that it's a three-shot hole here, laying up on the par five.
And she likes it, and rightfully so. Perfectly placed tee shot. Catherine Ha with driver. Excellent tee shot again. Well, one takeaway for Ha, that driver, especially the last few holes, she has been splitting the fairway. And Addie Doro with driver as well. Similar line. And another excellent tee shot with a flat lie on her second shot upcoming. Middle of the fairway here at 16. The MAPGA is an association of over 1,250 PGA club professionals in Maryland and Virginia who work every day to grow the game of golf. Through instruction, event planning, and bringing new people into the game, they are proud to be stewards of the game and experts in the business and game of golf. The VSGA, founded in 1904, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing a full range of services to golfers and golf clubs in Virginia, including handicapping services, access to competitions, junior golf programs, and education on the rules of golf and rules of handicapping. Let's take a look back at that leaderboard with Kennedy Sweeting atop at +3 for the tournament, one over par in her round so far today. Morgan Mussett has made a charge, who is even par in her round today. Began the day at +5, and we talk about, we use that term, Christine, making a charge. It's been pars that will make the charge today, especially the way this golf course is set up here for the final round.
Yeah, Morgan with 2 birdies on the back 9. Something we haven't been seeing from our final group.
And Mussett a couple of groups ahead. She's a Richmond Virginia native. Shot 37 on the front, but had back-to-back birdies to climb 3 spots at 12 and 13.
And she's one of a number of players in the field this week representing Randolph-Macon College.
Get a look at this second shot for Kennedy Swedick. Fairway wood. A great shot there. Now, we looked at this hole, and of course, I don't know that this does it the justice. You really want to try and aim to be like parallel with those 2 fairway bunkers you can see at the top of your screen. You get a flat lie there if you, as we saw yesterday, you hit it much past those 2 bunkers for your third, and it's kind of an uneven lie.
Right. You can see that house out in the distance. That's the line there. Oh.
Low. Running just past the bunkers. And that's going to work out just fine for Addie Doro. Monster tee shot for Catherine Ha. She's got a fairway wood as well. Another great shot. This time from Catherine Ha. Farmington Country Club, absolutely gorgeous and a great sight to have this 3rd annual Women's Open of Virginia to be played here at Farmington Country Club. We mentioned par 70 with 2 par 5s. The U.S. Women's Amateur 4-Ball coming in a couple of years, which, Christine, as you noted, it will mark the 100th anniversary of the club. A special event coming back to Farmington Country Club here in a couple of years. And those A4 bent greens that have given these players trouble all week.
I'm sure they'll be rolling just as fast, if not faster, for that USGA championship.
No question. No doubt about it. This course is what you would call a shot maker's course. Tight, tree line to tree line with uneven lies and, of course, heavily guarded greens and slope. I think if you just look at the scorecard, you just look at the yardage played, just over 6,000 yards, you think, wow, this is going to be a birdie fest this week, but certainly not the case. Addie Doro, first to play, who finished 7th in this Women's Open a season ago. On her 3rd shot, finds a piece of the right side of the green. So she's got a putt. It's lengthy. And Catherine Ha will be next to play, middle of the fairway for her 3rd shot. Oh, check that. Swedick from the left rough will be next to play. looked like that rough just grabbed her glove. She left it way short in that lower left bowl.
She did not do herself any favors there for that leave for the up and down.
Now Catherine Ha, middle of the fairway with a wedge in hand. Oh, right at it. Catherine Ha, great shot. She'll have about 15 to 20 feet for birdie here at 16. Now we'll go middle of the fairway on hole 18. This is Shannon McHugh Strout on her second shot on the par 4 18th. Boy, he throws a dart in there on 18.
She has some local knowledge on the bag this week with Dustin Moser, the head golf professional here at Farmington, helping her out.
That always helps, right?
Especially on these greens.
There was ever anyone that would know the greens, I think you want the head pro out here at Farmington on the bag, and she's played well. Had a good showing in this tournament. Today is +5, unfortunately, but came into this final round just 5 shots off the lead. Here's Michelle Cox, her second shot. Ugh. That's the one spot on 18. You cannot miss it.
Michelle is last year's champion. Just graduated from Penn State.
Left of the green on 16. We go back to the tournament leader, Kennedy Swedick. Oh, great chip shot. She'll have that to try and save par. And now backside of the green, Addie Doro. Wow, this one just slips away from Dora. Easy to do on these greens. We'll try to make that coming back for par. Here's Catherine Ha for birdie at 16. A tap in par for Catherine Ha. Well, Sweetik's got this putt to try and save par. Christine, what do you see from Sweetik here? This is a pivotal point on 16.
Yeah, this is a big putt to maintain that 2-shot lead with 2 to go. To really give her some confidence going into the last 2 holes.
What a roll for Kennedy Sweetik. You betcha. And saves par from off the green here at 16 and will maintain that 2-shot lead.
Probably not how she envisioned playing this hole, but a par is a par.
We mentioned Kennedy Sweetik time and time again. That putter has come through for her today in the clutch. Good roll for Doro.
I'm sure that felt like a must-make for her to stay within 2.
They'll move along to the 17th, which is a 152-yard par 3 and severely downhill with the pin located on the back right today. I'd say this shot on 17, Christine, plays 10, 15 yards downhill.
It does. Definitely at least one less club. Talking to Scott Kinnan yesterday, director of greens, grounds, and maintenance here, he was telling us that they found a picture of the 17th hole on eBay when they were working on the redesign back from 1931 and used that as part of their inspiration for reshaping the screen. I feel like that's definitely a theme that you're seeing with a lot of courses as they get updated, going back to the original layouts.
And heavily guarded by bunkers, especially in the front. White shirt.
White shirt, black shorts.
So here we come up on hole 17 here at Farmington Country Club as we come down the stretch with Kennedy Sweetik maintaining a 2-shot advantage right now. You see the gallery following this final pairing today. And Morgan Mussett, who was just 2 back, just bogeyed this 17th hole to fall to 6 over par for the tournament. So now Lauren Clark and Morgan Mussett tied for third at +6. Addie Doro, who is on the tee right now at 17, just 2 shots back. And finds the dance floor. She'll have that putt for birdie here at 17.
And she made it to that upper tier, which is important.
It's Sweetic, middle of the green, just below the tier. Well, interesting birdie putt for Kennedy Sweetic. And right at it. What an excellent line. And it looks like it will hold up in the middle of that green. Well, we go to the par 4 18th. Morgan Mussett just a shade long on her second shot. And now you get a look at Skylar Slode here on 18 from the fairway.
Skylar plays her golf at Glenmore Country Club just down the road, so she should be used to this type of course.
Good shot in there. Uphill birdie putt coming on 18 for Skylar Slode. Who sits 5th on the leaderboard right now at +8 for the tournament, +3 today. So chance to finish up strong for Skylar Slode. We go to the green on 17. This was just a moment ago for Kennedy Sweetic. And drops it in.
Big birdie there.
Big birdie on 17. And that could be the icing on the cake, which moves her to +2 for the tournament with 1 hole to play. Here's Addie Doro for birdie. Almost a must-have putt here to stay in the hunt. Good speed and just short. So Doro with a nice 2-putt salvages par. And correction, you did see the birdie make for Kennedy Sweetic on 16 that we showed you. She taps in for par here at 17. So is still +3. We just want to clarify that. Addie Doro +5. So with one hole to play, there is anything can happen. There is a 2-shot difference here. A good 2-putt there for Catherine Ha, who will make par. And it comes down to this, the 18th hole, the par 4 from 364 today that kind of cuts back to the left. We've shown you a couple looks from some other groups today, but there's a layout of the green. And this is a tricky green nonetheless. And where they have that pin positioned in the back part of this green, wow.
And this is a relatively short hole, but as evidenced by the scores so far today, it's only yielded 1 birdie, 6 pars, 11 bogeys, and 3 others. So still anything could happen on this final hole.
And you see that the tee shot important here as well. You've got the bunkers on the left side, penalty area that kind of creeps in there on the left side as well. But, of course, ball above your feet on your second shot here, which could be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see if players go at less than driver off the tee here just to get a flat lie.
It's Sweetic on the tee. Pulls driver. And just scoots through the fairway in the edge of the rough, but going to be okay right there. Catherine Ha with driver. Really been hitting the tee shot well, I feel like, on this back side today. And Doro going to find the center of the fairway as well on her tee shot. So 3 good tee shots here in the final group on 18. So we go back to that leaderboard here at the Women's Open of Virginia at Farmington Country Club. Kennedy Sweetic trying to hang on with a 2-shot lead heading up the fairway here at hole number 18. I'll tell you what, Addie Doro, give her credit, has stayed within reach all afternoon. And even though it looked like she was struggling a bit with her irons early in the backside, had some nice up and downs to save pars and has a chance here on this 18th hole.
She does. And, I think no matter what happens today on this last hole, it's going to give her a lot of confidence going into her freshman year at University of Richmond.
Second shot for Doro. Here's Catherine Ha. Oh, great shot. And this one might just funnel back down. Wow. Within 7 feet, 6 feet maybe for birdie, Catherine Ha here at this 18th hole. And good to see her have a chance to finish with a birdie today. We mentioned signed to play with Vanderbilt and won the 2024 Virginia Junior Girls Championship. Just a beautiful second shot in there here at 18. Two really good shots. Here on 18, and birdie looks to try and finish out the final round of this Women's State Open of Virginia here at Farmington Country Club. And Doro in the bunker, green side here on 18. Good shot out of there.
Really good shot. You could see how steep the face of that bunker was.
Kennedy Swedick, who will have a look at Birdie. Kid that we mentioned had an incredible freshman season playing in 8 events for the Virginia Cavaliers. Placing inside of the top 35 in multiple events this year. Wow.
She hit that with some pace.
It's going to hold up right there. Swiatek will have about 6-7 feet coming back for par. And this to save par out of the bunker for Addie Doro. Uh-oh. And this is what we were mentioning with this 18th green, is this one still continues to trickle below the hole. Tell you what, you get far enough above the hole on this 18th, it can certainly run all the way off the green.
I wonder what Catherine's thinking now after seeing those 2 putts race by. She's going to be a little bit more cautious once it's her turn again.
And Doro back up the hill, just misses low side. So unfortunately, Addie Doro not going to finish the way she had hoped on this 18th. And it just slips past for Catherine Ha. So this for a 1 over par 71 for Kennedy Swiatek. You betcha. Back of the cup, and Kennedy Swiatek. Solid performance. Your 2025 Women's Open of Virginia champion. Just outstanding golf. And Christine, the flat stick today, how many time and time again came through for Swiatek? Just when you thought The pressure was on, had some players that made some charge on this backside, but Swiatek never faltered.
It did. That par putt that she rolled in on the 16th hole to get up and down, I think, really solidified it.
We talked about Kennedy Swiatek and what a bright future ahead. Rounds of 68, 74, and 71 to close this tournament out at +3. This for double bogey for Addie Doro. And to get a share of third. Now, solid performances all around for Kennedy Swiatek, who wins this one. The Albany, New York native that plays her college golf for the Virginia Cavaliers right here in Charlottesville. Incredible showing and able to handle the pressure, especially on these greens, these fairways, the way these greens were rolling today. As good as anyone, as she is all smiles, and let the celebrations begin.
And she just had such a solid back nine with 8 straight pars starting on hole 11.
So Kennedy Swiatek, an amateur, wins the 3rd Women's State Open of Virginia. Just incredible. You think about some of the top-level amateur golfers mixed in with pros in the Mid-Atlantic PGA that we've talked so much about. And what did Kennedy Swiatek say before this week, Christine, that she was looking forward to playing a new course? Well, I think she handled that just right. Your 2025 champion. Folks, Martin Korick is a longtime Farmington member and co-chair of the committee at the club preparing to host the U.S. Women's 4-Ball at the club in 2027. We've got a video to show you about that event coming just 2 years from now, which will mark the 100th anniversary of the club.
Martin Korick. I'm a longtime member here at Farmington Country Club. We're extremely proud to be hosting the Women's Open this week. We have a rich tradition and history here in women's golf, and we're very excited not only to host here, but there's just such a great movement of enthusiasm and excitement behind women's golf right now nationally. We are thrilled to be having this event here. We're going to be looking forward from today to an event we're having as well in 2027. We'll be hosting the USGA Ladies 4-Ball. For us, this means so much. We've had so many strong women golfers here over the years, including Robbie Younger, I think one of the foremost amateur golfers in Virginia history. So to be able to add to our rich tradition of women's golf here is an honor for us. We're proud of our golf course here, we're proud of our club, and to be able to share it with others in this kind of event really means a lot for us. It's really important that we get our community behind these events, not only here at Farmington, but in the greater area of Charlottesville, as well as the state of Virginia. Fortunately, I think we're catching women's sports in general at a wonderful time. There's such a building excitement and enthusiasm behind it. But to really make these events special here for the club, but most importantly, the players, we are asking that everyone reach out, try to get involved. I'm always available to speak to anyone that's interested on how they can support. We have a 2-year ramp up to the USGA event in May of 2027. We really are aiming to make that the best one that's ever been held. So whether you're in the community here or in the state or even a club member, please reach out. We'd love to get your support. It's important for women's golf. It's important for the club. And we really look to nurture our relationship with the USGA, the VSGA, and all the affiliated organizations so that we can continue to put on great events. Please come be a part of it. We'd be honored to have you.
We come back to you live on the Championship Golf Network at Farmington Country Club here in the 3rd Women's State Open of Virginia, where we have just crowned a winner. Kennedy Swedick posting a 71 today. And you saw those celebrations just a moment ago on hole 18. The freshman at UVA able to get it done here with a couple of players nipping at the heels all afternoon, especially on this backside. Well, folks, all this week we've been honored to have Robbie King Unger on site, a 6-time VSGA Women's Amateur Champion whose career spanned from her first title in 1963 to her final season in 2003. Hosting this championship at Farmington is especially meaningful as Robbie spent nearly 50 of her 70 golfing years at this club. Now the Perpetual Women's Open of Virginia trophy will bear her name, a tribute to a lifetime of excellence and her lasting impact on Virginia golf.
I've played golf for 70 years, and 50 of those years have been affiliated with Farmington. So I feel as if I'm home. To have my name on a trophy is beyond an honor. It's like, it's almost like, how did I do that? I won 6 state championships, but I lost 4. I'm very, very honored by this. And my friends, Meg, one of my friends' best friend, called and said, do you want to be wearing +4s on your trophy? And I said, what? And I said, it's going to be an image of me. She said, yeah, we're copying a picture. So I said, well, copy whatever I had on in the picture, because I never wore +4s. But it is a great honor. It's my family is coming for the award ceremony. They are very pleased to just be able to participate and observe. To have my name on a trophy is beyond my expectations. I'm thrilled and honored, and I'm looking forward to watching the girls play and congratulating whoever wins it.
We'd like to thank all the official partners of the 3 Open Championships in Virginia, as they are critical to the success of these championships and allow us to support local communities through our tournament beneficiaries. First, the Kiowa Island Resort. Second, the Jefferson Hotel Sea Pines Resort. Real Property Management. Estes. M&E Contractors, the Old Dominion Group, and last but not least, My Golfing Store. There's a look at that trophy and the presentation getting set to take place here at Farmington Country Club in Charlottesville, Virginia, where we have just crowned the 3rd Women's State Open of Virginia champion in Kennedy Swedick, who has an outstanding performance today, fires the final round 71. And you saw the celebrations on 18 moments ago, just crucial putt after crucial putt on this back 9 today. And now let's take a listen to this trophy presentation and the Nat sounds from Championship Golf Network.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John Gould. I'm the Executive Director of the Mid-Atlantic PGA, and I'm so proud to represent the Mid-Atlantic PGA and the VSGA who partner on this great event. This is the 3rd year of the Women's Open of Virginia. We could not be more proud of the success in these first 3 years. Of course, we can't do events like this without great host clubs, and we probably have one of the best ones in Virginia here this week at Farmington Country Club. And I'd like to bring the PGA Director of Golf, Jeff Montrose, up to receive a small token of appreciation.
My name is Matt Smiley. I'm with the Virginia State Golf Association. With the support of the Farmington membership, we are honored to perpetuate a trophy for the Women's Open champion, named after a legend in Virginia golf, Robbie King Unger. We're honored to have Robbie here with us today. Robbie, please come up. Robbie's going to help us present the trophy to this year's champion with a score of 3 over par, 213, Kennedy Swedick.
Okay, yes, of course. I'm new to the Charlottesville community. I go to UVA, but the support I've received, especially this week, has been just absolutely incredible. I want to thank Farmington for being such incredible hosts, and then all the volunteers, especially because it's been so hot out, and then all my family and friends who came out to watch. The support really means so much, and yeah, I feel really grateful for this opportunity to be able to play with so many great competitors. I'm so blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. We appreciate it.
And what an incredible showing from Kennedy Swedick, who is your 2025 Women's State Open of Virginia champion. And see lots of smiles on the course today. Groups finishing up on 18, and this round certainly had its ebbs and flows. You look on the backside, and the putter really got going for Kennedy Swedick on the back nine, and she had a couple of crucial putts down the stretch, including this one coming back with a little bit of real estate left. And then Kennedy Swedick with the celebrations on 18. Just a special moment for the rising sophomore for the Virginia Cavaliers, who has a bright future in her golfing career. And what a pleasure it was to broadcast this final round alongside Christine Kleitz. And I'll tell you what, just great golf all around from Kennedy Swedick. And you saw it time and time again. Things got interesting there. We saw it within a shot, within 2 shots, and even entering that 17th and 18th hole. We know how dangerous those 2 holes have been for the field all week, but Kennedy Swedick able to find a way to get it done.
And she just had nerves of steel there down the final stretch, getting that up and down on 16 and just bringing it home the last 2 holes.
And no doubt about it. And she's presented that trophy here at Farmington Country Club. And just an incredible showing. And folks, we appreciate you for tuning in from wherever you may be today for the 3rd annual Women's State Open of Virginia. And of course, the folks here at Farmington Country Club for having us at the Championship Golf Network as well to broadcast this great event. And Kennedy Swedick, congratulations to her yet again. And we cannot leave this show without thanking some of the main sponsors. Of course, the Kiowa Island Golf Resort, Golf Pride, and the Sea Pines Resort. And we've already mentioned some of our tournament beneficiaries that were a part of this as well, entering today and to make this great event happen for the 3rd year in a row. And just an incredible showing for Kennedy, who's able to get it done today. Just an outstanding showing of golf. Folks, we appreciate you from tuning in from wherever you may be. For Kendall Lewis, Christine Kleitz, the rest of our Championship Golf Network production crew. And again, we of course want to thank our directors and production folks on the course today in this hot weather, 100-degree temperatures with almost a 110 heat index, for all that they did in bringing you these angles and sounds and sights from the course here at Farmington Country Club today. So for the rest of the crew, we say so long from Farmington Country Club in Charlottesville, Virginia.
You talked about being new to the Farmington, or to the Charlottesville community. You know, what's this week been like for you?
It's meant so much, honestly, to see like all the volunteers, all the Farmington members,
Here.
and
And match shots with the greatest in the game. Play here and discover a golf experience like no other. Three incredible courses, one unforgettable destination. Play the Sea Pines Resort.
When your hands are consistent, your game can go anywhere. Align Max, our newest raised ridge technology, designed to keep you and your game locked in on every shot. Only from Golf Pride. Respect the grip.
Kiowa Island Golf Resort is more than a round of golf. It's 5 meticulous courses set amongst grand oaks and towering palms. A dance with Di, Player, Nicholas, and Fazio that challenges your mind and love for the game, where ocean breezes are both ally and foe, where the tradition of golf meets the thrill of sport.
Thank you, buddy.